Hi, this is a video response to the Cree Ingles video of her review of the Osbournes Reloaded. Now, as I say, I usually don't have too much to say about anything, but heavy metal music, that genre of rock, is most near and dear to my heart. I love it. Cheryl can't stand the fact that I love it so much. She'd rather have me listen to country or pop, whatever, she's listening to at the moment. But, you know, back in the early 1980s, actually it's the late 70s, Ozzy Osbourne was fired as the lead singer of Black Sabbath, and he met Sharon, whose father, I believe he was either the executive or he's the owner of a record company in England, and she decided to put all that company's chips on making Ozzy Osbourne a solo artist, and the result was the 1982 album, The Blizzard of Oz. It was awesome. He had an awesome guitarist in Randy Rhoads, and awesome tracks like I Don't Know, and of course we all know that riff, Crazy Train, is played everywhere. And then he followed that up with Diary of a Madman, with Flying High again off of that. And, everything kind of snowballed for him as a solo artist. Now, you fast forward 20 plus years, over 25 years now, he's the closest thing that heavy metal has had to an Elvis. He is our Elvis. But, I love the first season of the Osbournes. I don't like reality shows in general, but, that one really, because I'm such an avid heavy metal fan. I watched it, loved it. Second season, not as much. A lot of stuff was, shtick and put on and, kind of pre-scripted. But the first season was awesome. MTV were geniuses for putting that family on. And, reality shows have a tendency to give birth to pseudo-celebrities that really don't have any talent than being on a reality show. And Jack and Kelly and Sharon are kind of, they're no exception, really. And, did a couple more seasons of the Osbournes. It wasn't, as good as the first. And then, see this train wreck coming, the Osbournes Reloaded. Maybe it's time for them to kind of, I don't want to be mean, but maybe go away. It's kind of like Sharon is the business mind of the Osbournes. She sets everything up, from the touring to the album deals and now the television shows. And it's kind of sad to see her whore Ozzy out like that. It's kind of sad, and I'm kind of upset about that. And you look at what Ozzy Osbourne was in the 1980s. He was the king of heavy metal. You told people that weren't into heavy metal that you like Ozzy Osbourne, and they thought you worshiped the devil and all that other stuff that went along during that scene, during that era of music. And you look at him now, he's become a joke. Since the World of Warcraft commercial, everything else that's gone with it, it's kind of like, he's like, I don't know how much of that is put on. It's his act now. But I did hear him pre-Osbourne show on a Howard Stern interview in about 1997-98. He was promoting, I think it was Ozfest tour at the time, and just the way he was telling his stories about when he was in Black Sabbath. He's like, they'd want me to go to Warner Brothers to talk about our money because Warner Brothers wasn't paying anything, and they locked me in a room. I get to Warner Brothers and they locked me in a room with all this cocaine. I forgot why I go there. That's classic Ozzy, and that's not put on. That's just him being Ozzy. I'm not sure. I'm glad he's gotten sober. I'm glad, he doesn't do drugs anymore. I don't think he drinks as much anymore. But, he is 60 years old now. You gotta think, that's 60s today he's 40 this day, as they say. But that whole bit, I think, has kind of run its course. I haven't watched it. I don't think I will watch it, because it's kind of like seeing a good friend just go down the drain, and he's kind of like showing up and like, oh, where's some money now? Let me do my bit, and he acts, he just puts on the shtick, and that's what it is now. And then you got Jack and Kelly and Sharon riding his coattails, and that's kind of sad. It's like, where are their careers at? They're gonna make a living off of being, like I said before, these pseudo celebrities. But and as for Sharon, I don't know how many of you are into the metal scene, but during the Ozfest tour of 2005, I kind of lost respect for her, because they were touring with another band, and I'm not going to mention who it was, but that band felt maybe they should have closed the show, because they put on a superior live show than Ozzy and Black Sabbath. And the lead singer of said band, he made a couple, he can be an arrogant prick, and he went on a diatribe about how, Ozzy going on MTV or whatever on a couple of shows. Yeah, that was out of line. It's unprofessional to slam somebody, a fellow musician, like that. But, during the last show of the tour, said band was pelted with eggs from the audience. Okay, alright, that's fine. You got payback. That's fine. I could understand that. But as a fan, you have to put as musicians, they have to put the fans first, because they're putting the money in their pocket by going to these things. They're popping hundreds of dollars for these tickets and everything else, and they were taking it out on the fans, because every time that said band would get going into one of their numbers on the set, Sharon would have a power cut, and that's, if I would have, had the time, I was moving when they were coming to my area at the time. I wanted to go, but circumstances, I didn't have time, really. I was literally in the midst of moving down here to Maryland, and I'd have been highly pissed if that band I went to go see, they can't play because, she chooses to be juvenile and take it out on the fans and cut the power. But anyway, she's a very smart lady, but I think maybe she needs to take a step back, let just Ozzy retire. It's kind of like, what are they going to do in another 10 years, drag him out? He's going to be 70, maybe probably in a wheelchair, maybe he got Alzheimer's, and he ain't going to know where he is, and we're going to have to maybe watch him. It's kind of like tasteless to kind of see him dragged out like that, whatever. But he's kind of become a joke of himself, and not in a good way, so that's my thought on the whole thing. Bye.